Hey, hello friends. Welcome back to Blue Pig Reviews in the Library Book Bar. Today we're going to take on another classic cocktail. This time it's the sidecar. So recently someone was like, what is the quintessential cognac cocktail, brandy cocktail? And immediately the sidecar came to mind. The sidecar, of course, is one of those legendary classic cocktails which came about in the 20s. But no one knows really how it got the name the sidecar. It has a bunch of stories from being named after a motorcycle sidecar to the person ordering it being a sidecar rider to it being the remnants of a cocktail to it being the sidecar to a main meal. The list goes on. Or every driver needed a sidecar when a motorcycle club came into the bar in France. Heard a billion stories. Couldn't tell you what it is, but it's the sidecar. And the sidecar is a classic cocktail that, ends up with its own ratios, and it changes over time and it changes on wherever you get it. The original sidecar pretty much is a 1, 2, 3 parts. So it is, of course, 1 part lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice, 2 parts Cointreau. And you're saying, why not Grand Marnier? Grand Marnier has cognac in it. And the idea in the sidecar is to appreciate the cognac, the main cognac, and not it be challenged by another spirit. Cointreau is always around in your liquor store. And a good cognac. Here is Hennessy, and this Hennessy is on its last leg. It is the Library Book Bar's main cognac / brandy. But there are others here. We'll get them going as we go. And we're going to build this one. And before we set this up, this is famously served with a sugared rim glass. So we're going to sugar rim a glass. We're going to do 2. So my sugar jar has a tray at the bottom. I'm going to put some sugar in there. Just like that. And we'll funnel that bad boy along. And take a coupe. And you're going to need a piece of citrus. You can't sugar a glass with water. You're going to need a good piece of citrus to do that. And what we're going to do is cut us a little wedge and demi wedge it maybe. What we're going to do is we're going to go over the top of the glass. And the idea is that you don't want to get sugar on the inside. You really just want it on the outside. So once you do that, you're just going to drop that bad boy in your sugar. You're not going to dunk it. You just drop it. And you'll get a halo like that of sugar. Or what you can do if you're not a big sugar fan, you can touch the side part way. Give it a quick rub in the sugar. You just want to touch it up. And you'll get an ugly frosty deal like that. For all your art school failures like myself, I think that's a map of Asia. I think that may be India down there, some floating islands, maybe when the continents came together. But we have our 2 prepared glasses. We're going to put these aside and wait for our cocktails. So, now that we've got the sugaring out of the way, everything's sweet, let's get down to making the cocktail. Of course, this is a shaken cocktail because it contains lemon juice, and in the classic ratio, we're going to stay with that. We're going to use 1 3/4 ounce of our cognac, in this case, Young Hennessy. And, everyone has a preference as far as their cognac based on flavor. And like I tell you, taste all your ingredients and pick what you like. Because, if it tastes good, then you're drinking good. And it's going to be all good. And then we're going to go to our Cointreau, which is 2 parts. So this is going to be a 1/2 ounce. Solid, hard 1/2 ounce. If this bad boy can get to it. Yeah. Yep. 1/2 ounce. Not a little bit more. Gotcha. Want to be on the money. I don't want to get a 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. And then, nope, sorry. 0.75 ounce of Cointreau. Sorry, because it's 2 parts. I'm totally on my own deal. Should have did in reverse. Sorry. Get that back up. Wash Pretending you make mistakes in your own house, you don't have to worry about it. The liquor is yours. And our freshly squeezed lemon juice is the 1 part, so it's going to be exactly 5 ounces. I mean, a half ounce, 5 ounces. Right on a speaking day. Must be all this sidecarring. And put that aside. And in our shaking tin, we're going to get some ice in here. Get this rolling. This is where it's set. Oh God, we have plenty of ice. Keeping plenty of ice lately. Yep, I'm going to get that together in the shaking tin. Shake it until it's well incorporated. Smile while we're shaking it so it tastes good. Give that bad boy a squeeze. We're going to get out our cocktail glass. And we're going to double strain this because we don't want any ice shards in it. So we're going to grab our strainer, our Hawthorne strainer. That's that big one with the gates. And then our fine mesh strainer. I'm going to pour that bad boy through. And it's a fine, tiny little cocktail. Put this aside. Put our shaker aside. And let's give this bad boy a garnish. I'm going to give that a slight little demi wedge, a chunky demi wedge. Because we have sugar on the rim, you know, usually I would have something fit in there like I would do a curl or something with or just use an actual slice of orange is usually what you see in there. So people will do it with an orange peel, or they'll stick a slice of orange right in the drink because Cointreau's in it and go from there. Your choice. And so even though it's a little tart, once the sugar greets it from the rim of the glass, the drink is great. You get your Cointreau. Definitely can taste Hennessy in there. And that's pretty good. That is a good cocktail, good, well-balanced cocktail. You could do this. This is, of course, more tart than the next one we're going to make. But love that. Good cocktail. Very, definitely lemon forward. Put that aside. So sometimes, and this is going to turn into an algebra class, people will switch the ratios up a little bit. So I was in Canada, and you may see a lot of Canadian bartenders, because even when I watch them on YouTube, they tend to do 175 of Cognac, 1 ounce of Cointreau, and then a half ounce of lemon juice. And then that's their sidecar. Other people, you'll see they'll try to balance that part under the golden ratio. They'll do 175, 75, and 75, or 175, half and half, half ounce and half ounce. So you end up with 1.75 of your Cognac, half ounce of lemon juice, half ounce of Cointreau. So you can mess around with those and see which one fits your flavor profile. But just know you could go to a bar and someone is using that ratio. But we're going to step up to a more modern take on it. And this is around. And I remember the first place I had seen this one was Louis Fernandez, who has his own channel, and I'll put the link below. Great bartender, restaurant owner, activist for tequila, activist for restaurants. He modifies it to make the cocktail more balanced. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do with our second glass. So let's get our shaker set up in here. And I'm going to use a cobbler shaker this time because it's free. And then what he does is we're going to go with 2 ounces of our spirit, 2 ounces of Cognac, and God, I hope there's 2 ounces of Hennessy in here. And right on the money. And 2 ounces of Hennessy is in this bottle with a sun despair. Put that bad boy away. And then he comes back across, and the Cointreau stays the same. It stays at 7.5. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 7.5. Ooh, we got a little bit carried away, but we got a little bit. 7.5. Yep, 7.5. And then he comes in with the ½ ounce of fresh lemon juice. ½ ounce of fresh lemon juice. And he kind of Jerry Morgenthalers it by adding a bar spoon of simple syrup. In this case, I'm using rich because I like it sweet. We'll get that out of our way. And we'll get our ice. With the cobbler shaker, remember the strainer is built into the strainer, into the shaker. Give that a shake. Every time I see a cobbler shaker, I think of, the romantic guy with his girlfriend in his house and he's making cocktails for two. Cobbler shaker. Yep. Pop that off. Get our fine strainer out. So get the ice shards. Get our world map glass we got over here. And we're going to strain that in there. That's coming running. Cobbler shaker. Cobbler shaker. Yeah. And cobbler shaker has done its job. Put our strainer out of our way. Put it out of our way. And we're going to hit this joint with an orange garnish. And we can demi wedge this because there's only sugar on one part of the glass. Put it opposite the sugar side, and there you have it. Let's try the more modern sidecar. Right, and this is a better cocktail as far as it's still tart like the other one, but it has more body and depth, at least from that sugar. Seems to give it a little more mouthfeel. And I think being more spirit forward, you get more cognac taste. Yeah. Tastes good, so you know we're drinking good, and it's all good. Go out. You don't need a motorcycle, but you definitely do need a sidecar. Cheers to good pouring. And like I said, go out and try something new, expand your horizons, elevate yourself. Go out there and try something new. If you're not a cognac drinker, this is where you want to be. If you are, this is another one to put in your repertoire, or at least order out when you're at dinner. All right, now let me go find a motorcycle because I'm gonna have a couple of sidecars.